Greetings, all you samurai out there in the land of Wano. I'm Duuz-Diz-Din, back from a long hibernation to bring you a chapter review of One Piece. This time it's chapter 948, titled Kawamatsu, the Kappa appears. So right out the gate, they're just giving it away. This was a long speculated thing that a lot of people were theorizing, wondering, inquiring as to what exactly Kawamatsu was. But when we had that flashback to, young Hiyori, it was made very clear that, he was at least some form of fisherman, at the very, very least. So it's nice to have that confirmation. Although I feel like you could have told him Kawamatsu the Yokozuna because that's one of his titles or something like that. Leave the actual reveal for the actual moment. But oh well. So Luffy is in Udon raising all hell, still trying to get the hockey to, jettison from his fist. You can see the aura, you can see it contained within his fist, but you don't see it, fly out or, project or anything like that. You just can't seem to accurately land it. But because there's so much fodder in the prison trying to take him down, he's getting in plenty of practice. And, even Old Man Hio's kind of impressed by Luffy's determination. Meanwhile, Okiku wants to go and rescue Olin, Big Mom, but Chopper's less than worried, because he knows who truly Big Mom is, and if there was ever one person in the entirety of the world who didn't need rescuing, it would be Big Mom. And Chopper is a little bit more concerned about Luffy more than anything else. Some of the waiters or pleasures and stuff, asked Bob Banuki if they should start throwing a few of the prisoners into their cells. But Bob Banuki is just like, no, that's the last thing you have to worry about. And Babanuki shows this by calling out to the prisoners and ordering them to restrain Luffy. And much to Luffy's surprise, they do this. And he's just like, wait, don't you guys want to get out of here? I'm on your side. But, the prisoners explain, look, you're not from this country. And, all in all, we're going to be frank, we enjoy seeing you beat up all these guards. It definitely brings a smile to our faces. But, Cairo and Orochi, they control the entirety of Wano. They've been doing this for 20 years. We all fought and tried our best to avenge our leaders, and that was all for nothing, and we've been in jail ever since. It wasn't just Odin, but, Kaido too, just because of all of that. And we know the futility of fighting back. We've lost friends, we've lost family, we've been beaten, bruised, bloody, broken. And losing your Lord Yasue right now in this particular way, it just really just brought back a whole bunch of bad memories. Things we thought we'd long since stopped feeling anymore. We found we still had feeling, and it was terrible. It was shown that there's nothing but despair here. Kaido has won, Orochi has won, and there's nothing we can do to stop it. And even if we were to escape or anything, what food would we eat? What homes would we return to? There's nothing out there for us. Unless, this country was completely freed, there's nothing for us to go back to. No lives, no homes, nothing. There's just this. Just this. And some foreigner just couldn't understand that. And honestly, I understand where they're coming from. Because honestly, Luffy does have the benefit of being free. He doesn't have to take rules or orders or, have a home that he has to live in or anything like that. Most of his family is either gone or in a place that very, 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 very rarely ever gets any kind of action, all things considered. Windmill Village, there ain't nothing happening in that place. Was it Windmill? Maybe. I don't know. Whatever. I mean, his hometown, nothing ever really happens over there, and most of them can take care of themselves. You know, the village that Whoop Slap presides over, nothing happens there, and anything happening to Don is almost unthinkable, all things considered. But, you know, this isn't enough. This is nowhere near enough. As Daifugu, the guy with the scorpion smile fruit. He starts just shooting some of the prisoners with these things that Queen made called plague bullets, highly contagious, and if you touch them, it'll spread to you as well, showing where the name Queen the Plague comes from. Apparently, it's his hobby to build very devilish weapons and unleash them upon the populace. And, you know, with everyone holding Luffy down, he plans to just, you know, shoot at him. Even if he can't touch Luffy, he'll, you know, at least hit somebody, and, you know, that'll take them out of the process. And it's just like, well, we've crushed any thoughts of rebellion out of these fools. But, you know, as things go on, you hear this voice echo from that crushed jail cell from before that goes Kappa pa 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 pa. And he tries to tell him, hey, Straw Hat, tell those people they still have hope. There's still a chance. And so everyone looks to the cell with, you know, Chopper, Kiku, who recognizes the laugh. Some of the waiters and pleasures just like, wait, hey, Babanuki, what was that voice from inside that jail cell? You know, we were told it was some kind of beast that was locked up for 13 years or so. And Babanuki honestly doesn't seem to know anything as well. He seems kind of fresh to this whole process. You know, we were told to give him, you know, fish that had drunk the runoff from the factories. And, you know, it was kind of planned to just execute him over the span of 13 years, which seems like a very dumb plan. Just chop off his head or something if you wanted to just kill him. Why prolong his suffering like this? That just seems to be the way they do things around these parts. But, yeah. But Babanuki's just like, yeah, just go finish the dude off. We'll just write it off as an accident. So a whole bunch of them enter here, but Babanuki's just like, well, yeah, one of those guys is one of the 9 red sheaths. And, you know, much to everyone's shock, it's just like, oh my god, one of the 9 red sheaths in there? I thought they had all died off. And Kiku's just like, oh, it is you, Kawamatsu. So as the, pleasures, as it looks to be, enter the cell, they're all ready to take his head, they're all ready to cut him up, and all that good stuff. Although we see that Kawamatsu still has fish bones from before hidden in his teeth, so he's hardly unarmed. However, in comes Raizo, just, you know, dashing through the prison, you know, creating havoc and chaos and rushing to Kawamatsu's cell. And he chucks this sword into the jail cell, along with the key attached to it. You know, Kawamatsu takes the key slowly, he takes the blade, you know, he calls the blade, Sotomuso, which is one of the high-grade swords as well. And we come to find out that Kawamatsu actually is a practitioner of sumo wrestling. So, you know, he even asks some of the guards, it's just like, hey, do you like sumo? As he, you know, calls out his attack name, which is kind of like a sumo move for the most part. So all the guards inside go flying, you know, much to Banuki's dismay. Raizo is all too happy to see Kawamatsu has not lost his strength, and so is Kiku. Although, you know, once Kawamatsu goes dashing out of the, the jail cell, he immediately starts to barf up all the poisonous fish that he had eaten after all that time. You know, he's just like, oh, you know, I had heard poisonous fish were delicious, but I was sorely mistaken. My organs are on fire. But we come to find out Kawamatsu's full title is Yokozuna Kawamatsu, showing that unlike that One guy that we saw during the opening of Wano, who was called Yokozuna, this guy is the real deal. Probably putting in a little bit of that fishman karate, because he's a fishman. There's no way he's not some sort of fishman, which is very interesting. It shows that Odin's, well, not just Odin, but oh yeah, Odin. His whole group was just made up of all these various different races and people from all various walks of life. You know, animal people, the creatures of Zo, fishmen, like Kawamatsu, just very interesting characters. But Kawamatsu is all too ready to just throw down after all this time being locked up. And so, um, everyone goes into shock. Arizo, Kiku are happy to greet Kawamatsu, who comments that they haven't aged in the entirety of a day. Uh, Babanuki tells all of his men to get into position, get their plague bullets ready to take down all the intruders who have entered. Luffy's still taken off guard by the fact that there's just a Kappa up in this place. And, Okiku tells everyone get away from Luffy, and she brandishes her sword. We have Old Man Hio approach them, say, "Hey Kiku, hey Raizo." He's just like, reveal your identities. The men whose spirits have been broken and have been beaten into submission cannot be heartened from behind a disguise. Which is funny because Kiku puts on a mask in order to reveal who she truly is. But, he makes sense. Ultimately, if their land is defended by people who they don't even know who it is, then what's even the point? Showing who you truly are and showing that it's the people of that country fighting for that country. That goes leaps and bounds in showing just who these people are and why it's so important to rally behind them. So everyone strikes a pose, with Luffy still kind of be like, that's a freaking Kappa. So, but Old Man Hio's just like, look, we have to win their trust because we have been nothing but ghosts in the past 20 years. And the men immediately recognize, the greater bulk of who all these people are, with Kiku being known as Kikunojo, the lingering samurai, the beautiful swordsman of Wano, which shocks both Luffy and Chopper in the revelation that Kiku is actually, in fact, was born male at birth, but feels that she is a woman at heart, and thus I will refer to Kiku as a woman, as that is who they define themselves per their gender. If you're not okay with that, yeah, there's other videos online. But Raizo, we come to find out, has this background as the rival of Fukurokuju, the leader of the Orochi's Oniwaban group, which, rivalry between ninjas, got some Naruto shit up in this bitch. A nice little something something, and it starts to kind of pair Raizo up with going up against Fukurokuju. And not just that, Shinobu joining Raizo at his side, possibly to help take down the Oniwaban group. The strongest sumo wrestler, Yokozuna Kawamatsu, Hyogoro of the Flower. People wondering who the hell Luffy Taro is, because they don't know any information of the outside world. But if they did know, Luffy would be the hottest shit around, all things considered. He has a bounty very close to Queen, so it's just like, But for much Chopper's dismay, nobody knows who the hell Chopper is. But I love the line from Babanuki, who's just like, God damn it, Orochi's prattlings were all true. He was so paranoid. We didn't believe him. Why didn't we believe him? We got to report to Lord Kaido. And, Kiku in this really awesome moment is just like, no, absolutely not. None who have seen us will exit here alive. Everyone must be silenced. And it's just like, damn, that's hardcore. One Piece tends to dabble with some just like offhanded murder, so they might just start killing people up in this bitch. People might just end up beat up, and people might end up really truly dead. It's hard to tell when it comes to One Piece, but a good, awesome chapter overall. Kawamatsu is finally freed. We finally get to see Kawamatsu, and he was in fact a Kappa. But is he a fishman, or is he a certain species native to Wano? I feel that he's ultimately just a fishman. That might have been a more shocking revelation if we didn't know fishmen at this point, but it's just like, oh, he's just a fishman. That's about the end of it. I still don't understand the whole Orochi, him being fed poisonous fish every day for his execution. Like, what? Orochi's just a sick dude. Just a generally sick fuck. You know, Raizo being revealed to be Fukurokuju's rival ninja. I really hope Oda does a good job of making their matchup actually relevant, because it's just like, well, it's been set up. Do something interesting with that showdown. Don't let us down on that one, Oda. If you're gonna set it up like that, you must have something good in mind. And Kiku is revealed to be Kikunojo of the Lingering Snow. A very interesting concept. I like the fact that Oda doesn't just do like the ugly, cross-dressing men or men who believe they're women and all that good stuff. That some of them are actually fairly beautiful, like Ienzo. Or Izo, that one member of a Whitebeard's crew who's actually a man, but has a very feminine appearance and lipstick and all that, who even has like Wano-esque or Japanese-esque look to themselves. So lots of things that just show that there are times where Oda will actually talk and be in reference to interesting topics in the world today, although he does have a tendency just to not have females get involved in really interesting and major fights, because it's just like, that's the one downside here. I was hoping Kiku was actually just a straight up woman, because it's just like, yes, finally a female character who actually gets to be involved in a solid fight. I mean, we've had transgender characters who were pretty badass at fights, who people like Ivankov or Mr. Two, Bon Clay, Izuma, a lot of people from the Revolutionary Army, hell, the whole Okama land, we've had plenty of, these transition characters who were pretty capable, and the only time we actually saw some solid females who were just really up there was in Amazon Lily, which was great. It's just that we haven't really had that consistency of just really strong females, which is unfortunate, but they're sprinkled in and out here and there. We had a good amount of them with Whole Cake Island, because Big Mom had plenty of daughters who were fairly strong and capable, but it just feels like we don't get enough like really head-to-head knock-down, drag-out fighters in terms of like women in One Piece. We'll either have them fight another woman, or they're incapacitated, or something happens and they don't go up against enough men most of the time. It feels like Oda just doesn't consistently avoids that kind of stuff, and I really do wonder why. But no hate on Kiku. Kiku was fine, beautiful, you go, girl. But it was also a nice moment where Luffy is reunited with Chopper, and they're not going to have a hard time taking down Udon Prison. Anyone who was of challenge is already out of the place, so this is nothing. But hey, tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think any real challenge might be posed in terms of them getting out of Udon Prison? I really doubt it. I really doubt it. All Chopper needs to do is go Monster Point, and bam, boom, bam, we're out. But those plague bullets, they might actually end up serving as a point of, contention. Actually might end up being something to watch out for. We'll just have to wait and see. But again, tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. If you liked this video, leave me a like. If you didn't, feel free to leave me a dislike. And tell me what I did wrong in the comment section below so I might better myself for future videos. Subscribe and hit the bell icon. That way you never miss out on another One Piece chapter review. And if you want to find me on social media, just look me up under Duuz-Diz-Din on any website. I'm pretty sure I'm there. Tell me if I'm not. And search that out for better or for worse. Might be some things you don't want to see there. And until the next video, just remember that a Kappa will be your ally should you help them out along the way. And they will be a fierce, staunch ally at that. Until next time, I'm Duuz-Diz-Din, and I'm going to bed. Bye-bye.